Hi, I'm Jenn Trepeck of Salad with a Side of Fries podcast here on the Lower East Side at Baker Falls with Flavors of New York for Food Karma's Tamale Party. Joining us today is Ron Barba and Lena Wu. Let's head inside. We are here with none other than Jimmy Carbone from Food Karma, the inaugural event of the season, if you will, more or less, right? This is our tamale party. Tell us about the event and why you created it.
Well, as you know, I've been doing food events in New York City for 20 years, and what inspires an event are the people that are making good food. So my friend Fernando has a place called Factory Tamal, and there's one on Ludlow Street and one on East 4th Street. And the story of him, I'm going to tell you this story. The point of the event is to kick off our whole season, talk about Food Karma, in meeting all the core collaborators we have, DJ Alex Corcoran and so many other friends here today. Years ago, I had this little restaurant called Jimmy's Number 43, and I used to participate in a lot of community events. One of them was a slow money pitch night, and different people were coming to pitch them for money, and I was a judge to see who got in. Well, his friend wanted to open a unique concept, pupusa, an El Salvadoran pupusa restaurant. And I said, listen, I have this restaurant, and on Sunday nights we let people do pop-ups. So we planned to do a pop-up. Turns out from doing the pop-up, he got to open a restaurant with some people he already worked for. But the key was that Fernando started working for him, and the pupusa restaurant wasn't working out. Fernando took it over, and that was his first Factory Tamal on the Lower East Side. Years later, I was on East 4th Street, and I went into the Tamal place, and it was Fernando. And he told me the story that because of the connection, this is what Food Karma is about, the connection that I let his friend try out the pupusas at my restaurant, that led to him having the Tamal restaurant, of which he has two now. And he's like the tamale king, Tamales king, because tamale is Tex-Mex. Tamal is one tamal, tamales means multiple. And that's in Mexican Spanish. So I've been corrected on that because you should know. Yeah. And the key is it starts with masa. And masa is it's like heritage corn that's ground and nixtamalized, which is just a way of making it better for you. And if you're dedicated to tamales, it's like you can eat them every day. You can get chicken, vegetarian. In fact, our other friends from Downstate Newburgh, which is up in the Hudson Valley, he's a friend of ours from the Bowl of Zoll event. And he's got a thing where it's a dessert tamale. So you still have the masa, so you have that corn flavor, but with chocolate. And you got to try that one.
I did. They're amazing. Yeah. So good. And we're at Baker Falls today. Tell us about the venue.
So again, this building community. Nick Boder, same as me in the East Village restaurant bars going way back 30 years. And Nick has also had music venues for a long time, a place called Cake Shop. And a couple years ago, there's the Old Pyramid, which is a famous nightclub on Avenue A. And it closed, and Nick went in with the Knitting Factory and put together a new club called Baker Falls. And then this space we're in now was what was called Rockwood Music Hall, which was really well known for a lot of indie bands. And then just in this winter, Nick moved Baker Falls here when Rockwood Music Hall closed. So we're in the old Rockwood Music Hall space on Allen Street. It's a great spot, you're gonna see it. And one shout out, all this cool decor. It's like artsy, meets upstate. Every night there's music. I think tonight there's going to be a Rocky Horror Picture Show live cast. That's Saturday night, and you have to pay to get in. But there's 11 people on stage, a full house. This is a cool place. It's culture in the Lower East Side, and it's not old Lower East Side as much as it's living Lower East Side.
Yeah, for sure. I spoke to Nick earlier. He was mentioning too. Right now they're opening at noon. People are coming in, coffee, laptops, work, have a meeting with coworkers, and eventually they're planning to open at 8 a.m. So this is day to night, such a cute spot to be.
Yeah, and there's some nights, like a Saturday night, there's going to be booked things, but other nights earlier in the week there'll be open mic, but not in the way you think of it. It's just like there's good musicians playing, so you can just come in on the off nights and grab a drink or a coffee at the bar, and there's someone playing music.
There's so much talent in New York. It's nice to have these spots,
But Nick's a gem, so I love working with him the same way I love working with, Fernando at Factory Tamal, and we got Alex Corcoran. I got to tell you about him. So if you really want to know, there was this thing called Supreme, which is like a skateboard brand. Back about 25 years ago, I had another bar in the East Village, and suddenly overnight, all the skateboarders, young skateboarders in the Lower East Side, we were their bar for about a year. And Alex Corcoran was one of those skateboarders, but he also worked for Supreme. They call it creative agency, creative work, which I don't quite understand, but it's everything from images, logos, campaigns. He's a pro in that, and we've reconnected in the last couple of years, so now he does some music with us. We're going to do some creative collaborations. He brought in a friend who's got a big pickle company, Gorilla's Pickles. So it's always about all of these people are going to be at the Food Karma events this year.
Awesome. And then I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you. So we have sweet and savory tamales and mezcal.
And mezcal.
Tell us about the mezcal.
Well, again, I've always been in tune to quality beverages. In fact, I think I do food events so that I can have good drinks. And some of you may know the event which is going on its 6th year now is Bolazol, which is pours mezcal and really good agave spirits from Mexico. That's in October in New York. But this great long-time industry person, Sarah Centarian, she's been working with the brand Granja Mezcal for a few years, and now she and her other colleague are the importers of it. So they've got Granja Mezcal, Zumbador Tequila, and the Cachaça from Brazil. Over 30 years ago, out of college, I worked at the coffee shop in Union Square, which was pretty freaking fab.
It was the best.
Then, you talk about models working well. I was in the trenches. I worked my way up from bar back to buying all the alcohol, and that's what really got me in the industry. But some great people. Cachaça was the core drink there, and you have caipirinhas, which is like more of a lime-based, and there's sugar. Caipirosca is the same thing, but with grapes. So cachaças, I have a feeling with Sarah's team, I think cachaças might be making a comeback as well.
It's awesome. Well, thank you for having us at this tamale party, and for Food Karma and Flavors of New York. Thank you. We did it.